Alright, I felt the need to ramble. This is Mark, one of your hosts from Impossible Times. Visit us at impossibletimes.com. Anyway, let me just get right into this shit. It's a Friday night. I'm here alone, solo this evening. This could be a little bit of a pre-show, I guess, for tomorrow's full Impossible Times episode. It's just me, Cat Seymour. He's a big fat white cat. And my dog Wilco, named after the band Wilco. If that wasn't obvious. But anyway, I was sitting here, it's a Friday night, thinking, man, I'd like to play some cards for some money on the internet. And I used to be able to do that back in, I don't know, early 2000s, mid 2000s. PokerStars.com was one of the sites that would allow you to do that. But here we are in 2015, and now that's illegal. So, that's fucking bullshit, right? I didn't mean to sound so angry, friends. That's some bullshit, right? There, it sounded a little cheerier when I said it. I just don't understand what the harm is in it. Is gambling addiction such a serious thing? I mean, if that's the case, why the fuck aren't they crashing down on sugar at this point? I just don't understand why a free person can't jump on the computer and play poker for a few dollars if they so desire. You know, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I do know that poker is probably one of the least addictive of the games that exists, because it can be controlled. All right, you can sit there and go into a casino in Vegas and do a buy-in for $60 or $80, and you can play some cards for several hours on that buy-in. Where if you went up to just your typical casino table to play blackjack or Caribbean stud, I don't even know that one exists anymore, but they have Ultimate, Texas Hold'em. You go to any of those tables, and you're losing 120, 30 minutes sometimes. It's realistic. It's happened to me many a times. The typical Texas Hold'em game in a poker room is not necessarily a way to lose money fast. I don't see the danger in it. I'm just... I decided to sign in and bullshit because of that. I just wanted to give a rant at the government for not allowing adults to simply use their own money and play some cards and enjoy their evening. I've had a little bit of whiskey this evening, and it's going pretty well. I was writing a paper earlier. That got a little, I don't know, I got lazy with it. I already had an outline going. So, filled in the gaps. I probably have only a few more sentences or so to go on the deal, so I figured I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Friday night here. I went and sat out on my balcony, and I was watching some of the First Friday activities go down. A lot of major cities have a First Friday. If you don't know what a First Friday is, it's an art walk. Galleries and whatnot open for you to stroll and wander and observe some of the different artistes that you might have in their neighborhood or community. So while I was out there, I was, just relaxing, listening to some music with the screen open. You know, it's a beautiful night here in Arizona. This is the last of it before the fucking hell of heat hits, as it were. We're looking at, I don't know, it's probably about 80 degrees out there right now. The sun's down. Pretty relaxing. I have a nice little view of the skyline here in Phoenix. But I have a pretty tight patio, which means not tight like it's cool, but tight like there's not a lot of space. And I have a railing. So I set up my Coachella camping chair out there. I call it my Coachella camping chair because I've had it at Coachella every year for the past 8, 9, 10, boy, probably even longer than that. A lot of years. And, boy, I gotta stop using that crutch. That vocal crutch of, I would like to make a public apology for using the vocal crutch of way too often when I'm broadcasting. I learned that in broadcasting school, that is one of the crutch words. You should not hem or haw. It will only annoy your audience. Therefore, audience, I apologize if I annoyed you. What you hear in the background right now is Portishead. I'm kind of rambling all over the place here. Portishead, I hope you don't sue me for playing your music in the background while I speak tonight. But I was talking about the art walk, enjoying my evening on the balcony. So my railing and the way my camping chair is situated on that porch, it makes my view a pink railing. And then if I look up a little higher, I start to see the skyline of the city and the other goings on. But at least I do have a patio, and I have the luxury of a view of downtown. During baseball season, they have fireworks after the ball games down here when the Arizona Diamondbacks are in town, and I have a clear view of those fireworks. So if you're into fireworks, that might be a little bit exciting to you. I don't know if there's a lot of people into fireworks or not. So it's about 10 minutes to 8 p.m. on this Friday night. And I'm going to probably get back to my paper at some point just to write a few more sentences, maybe clean it up and submit it. I'm in a rush to get a lot of homework done. I'm in 2 accelerated courses right now. So I'm taking a course, 2 classes. I'm a student at Northern Arizona University. I'm going to graduate with my bachelor's degree in about a month. And the 2 courses I'm in now are 7-week courses. That's half of a typical course. And I'm going to Coachella next week. So I'm going to be out of town from Thursday through Monday. That makes it difficult when you're in an accelerated course. That means I have to work even faster than the acceleration that has been scheduled. But I could do that, and I have done it. I'm looking pretty good right now. Once I clean up this little paper that I'm on now, I have another memo to write, and then, I don't know, some of that online participation is what they do in college these days. I'm an online student. I can't work in that traditional setting where you got to sit in a classroom for 3 hours at a time once a week. I understand it doesn't have to be 3 hours, but if you're a working adult, you're taking your classes in the evening. Unless you're a student who's young and you're not working a full-time day job, you can take a class 2-3 days a week, 1 hour at a time. Either way, that all sounds painful even just coming out of my mouth right now. I did say coming out of my mouth right now. It's just not something I was built for. I think different people learn in different ways, and the traditional classroom setting is not for me. Being able to sit still for 3 hours and listen to a teacher lecture and other students ask questions that you might not have, to me it's all an inconvenient way of learning. Whereas if I'm doing online learning, I can step away if I'm stumped on something, or maybe I'm not in the mood to learn at the moment, because I think individuals learn in different ways, and in this society with the short attention span that I have, I can't sit in that classroom setting. I need that ability to work when I want to work. There's been times where I woke up at 2 a.m. and I said, damn, I don't know, I can't go back to sleep. Let me sit here and work a little bit on some homework and turn in this discussion assignment or things of this nature. So I need to do it on my own schedule. It's worked out for me. Bam. Here I am. 1 month away from graduating with an associate's in public I'm sorry. That's the whiskey talking. With a bachelor's of science, interdisciplinary studies, 90-30 program, public administration. Can you believe that convoluted title? It's a little fucking ridiculous. the short, concise title would be a BS, which is fitting, in public administration through Northern Arizona University. Funny thing is, I graduate in a month, and I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm kind of proud of myself that I was able to finally accomplish this some 20 years after I began my post-high school education journey. So I got the cap and gown. I'm going to drive the 2 hours up to Flagstaff, and I'm going to walk down the aisle and accept my award. The real kicker here, though, is that they don't actually hand you the diploma. I mean, I know my classes end the day of the graduation, and on top of that, I have one more community college course I need to take to fulfill a requirement. It's going to be done by the end of July, so I assume they mail you the diploma shortly thereafter. You get your credits from that transferred into your program, and they verify that you've completed all of your obligations for the degree. Holy shit, I'm getting bored just talking about it. I'm excited, though. I'm just kidding. I think I'm boring you, though, talking about college requirements for degrees. Anyway, I am excited that I'm going to Coachella next week. There's going to be some bands there that are worth seeing. I'm not a big fan of this year's lineup or who the headliners are specifically, but we have this year Jack White, AC/DC, and the Canadian rapper Drake. You ask me, because you should ask me. I go to this event every year. Instead of Drake, we should have Nicki Minaj as a headliner, because her latest album, The Pink Print, holy cow, is it good. I think it's her skills are more interesting to me than Drake. I've asked a lot of people to try to get me into Drake. Give me his best songs. Tell me what to listen to. I went through a good 7 or 8 from a variety of people, and that a variety of people recommended to me as far as getting me into Drake. And these songs, almost every single one of them had auto-tune. And I just, not that you can use auto-tune. You can do it sparingly, and you can do it and it'll work. But if you're using that in almost every track, it's just not my thing. So, anyway, The Pink Print by Nicki Minaj. I love this fucking album. I'm addicted to it. But aside from that, there's some other acts that I'm looking forward to this year. And they're hip-hop acts. Run the Jewels, Killer Mike and ELP. They've released their Run the Jewels 2 came out last year. I saw them at a festival in Los Angeles called FYF, which is Fuck Yeah Fest. And they were great. Yeah, I'm excited to see them again. And Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks is... boy, I saw her at Coachella 3-4 years ago. And at that point, her only single was 212, which to this day is a great single. So I'm looking forward to see her again and see how she's progressed and matured with her music, sound, stage presence, all of it. That show she did, though, was a party. Had a blast seeing her 4 years ago, so I hope it doesn't turn into something that's overproduced or, I don't know, less energy than what she had, because she was a firecracker on stage. But that's about what I'm looking for in the hip-hop area this year. As far as other acts are, I'm looking forward. I think Cloud Nothings are going to be there. I'm keeping my schedule pretty open, to tell you the truth. Reason I'm going again this year is because I really can't wait to hang out with the people I see every year when I camp at Coachella. We got a great camping group. We've been camping together for a number of years now. And despite there being a little bit more of a shitty lineup this year, it's still a blast to run around the polo fields. This is a festival that takes place on lush green grass in the middle of the desert near the Palm Springs area of California. It's called Indio. and it's just a great time. I've enjoyed it every year that I've gone. There's something to do, even if there's a band you don't like on one stage, you can explore other stages. There's also art installations, a Ferris wheel, there's food, craft beer. There's all kinds of fun and interesting things to explore, and to do that with a group of people that you've come to know and love over the years is a great thing to do. So anyway, that's a big draw of Coachella for me is my camping group. The music at this point, because the lineup has gotten a little bit, I don't know, not so great. I mean, there's still some good stuff this year. Cloud Nothings is a great indie rock band. I'm going to go see them for a high-energy rock show. You got things like, what else do we get that I'm looking forward to this year? I have a whole list written down somewhere of this stuff. But there's going to be plenty. If you think about it, if you could find 3 or 4 bands a day to go see, you can fill in the rest of your day with plenty of other stuff. And don't get me wrong, there were those years where I went in full hardcore with, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 acts I'd get in a day, because the festival opens up around 11, 12 o'clock, and it goes till midnight, 2 in the morning. A lot of artists you have a chance to see, and all the sets are about an hour long until you get later in the night. When you get to the main stage and the headliners and the sub-headliners, then they start to get to about 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours for the headliner, a little more depending on who the headliner is and how late they let them go. There is a curfew on this event. They let it go to about, seems to be about 1:30 in the morning at the latest at this point. It used to end right around midnight, but over the years they've been allowed to go a little bit further. Anyway, I highly recommend this fest. I'd say it's part of my life. I go every single year for loyally for what is it now? 13, 12 years in a row, something like that. You want to count with me, friends? You want to count with me? I went to Saturday only in 2005. That was the first time I went. That's in 2006 I started camping, and I've camped every year since. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're looking at 11 years since 06 camping, 11 and a half years because I went to the Saturday in 05. Or we could just say 12, because in 2012 when they expanded it to 2 weekends, at that point I said, let's give that a shot. Let's try both weekends. I don't think I'd do it again. Same artist play both weekends. It was the first year they did it. Happened to have the opportunity to camp the first weekend, stay at a resort the second weekend. And it was costly. And because it was so hot the second weekend, I found myself not even inside the festival before sunset, really. So it says something to consider. But if there's got a great lineup that you want to see, then go for it. Go both weekends. You have that kind of disposable income, because it's not a cheap festival by any means. Most people, 80% of the people that go to Coachella, what they do is stay in a hotel, and finding a cheap hotel is about $200 a night. $150 a night, $200. That's for a cheap, shitty hotel, so it can run you some money. Outside of that, I think I'm going to wrap up this little mini cast. And like I said, visit us at impossibletimes.com. If I have anything else to ramble about or babble about, I'll be back on. I'm not going to go too far. I'm just going to get back to sipping my whiskey here on a Friday night. It's about 8 o'clock. I might go out. I don't know. I see myself wandering First Friday here, which is, like I said, the art walk. So, hope you enjoyed this. I enjoy talking to you, and if you want to send us some feedback, send it to questions@impossibletimes.com, and I hope to see you guys on the other side. Cheers.